OK, everybody, we're going to be taking a look at Enzo Maresca, how he's been doing in his second season with Chelsea. But currently they sit second in the Premier League, they're 12th in the Champions League, and they're still in all the cup tournaments. So they just beat Burnley on the weekend 2-0 and face Barcelona tomorrow in the Champions League. So that'll be a real big test for them. So why don't we grade Enzo Maresca, how he's doing in his second season with Chelsea, starting off with their results. So, Geoff, they've just beat Burnley, they've won 3 in a row in the Premier League, and obviously they're doing quite well in the Champions League. What would you give on a scale of A to however we go down to F with Enzo Maresca, how he's been doing with his results for Chelsea?
Well, I'd also point out they lost at home to Sunderland. They lost at home to Brighton as well. And I think they only played this season in the top 6 Palace, and they drew with them as well. So they beat Liverpool, but at the moment, Liverpool is not Liverpool, as they say. Mixed, Hannah, I'd say, his results. But what I would say, whatever we go through here, there's one pass I give Enzo Maresca and Chelsea, and it's the unquantifiable, the unknown, the Club World Cup. So whatever I can grade the results now because they speak for themselves, but we just don't know what that impact is. Nobody knows what impact that's going to have. So results, C.
C?
Yeah. I'm going no higher than C. Because I don't think they've played that many big teams, and also they've lost some games at home, which they would expect to win.
For a team sitting in second place, a C. I'm going to go B- with the result, possibly even B.
Well, it's not massively more, is it?
I'll go B. I'll go B. They're sitting in second place right now.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a testament to the inconsistent nature of the Premier League.
Yeah, but they spent I think it was 98 billion or something.
98 billion. Okay, biggest win of the season, Liverpool, right? A lot of teams are beating Liverpool, but the way they beat Liverpool, the fact that they haven't got Cole Palmer in the team.
They drew with Qarabag.
They did. But the Liverpool match is why I'm going B.
Right, where you going, Nico?
For me, it's B-. It's way too inconsistent, but the fact that they are sitting in second place in the Premier League, that draw against Qarabag in Champions League, it just goes to show you how, again, generous and unimportant certain games in the league phase are. You can draw to Qarabag away and be in really good standing in Champions League. So overall, it could be better, but it's not the worst. It's just incredibly inconsistent.
OK, Lahoud, how would you grade Enzo Maresca's tactics?
Well, if we would have done this after the Club World Cup, I would have said A++++, right? Because the PSG, just tactical brilliance that he showed. But I'm going to go B- because there is not a plan B for Chelsea. Plan A is play you off the park, invite you into the press. But plan B, I don't see it yet. And with, you look at Moises Caicedo, he can't play every single game. Chelsea are not the same team without Moises Caicedo in the team. I just want to see a bit more of variability when it comes to Enzo Maresca. It's possession for possession's sake at times. They're getting the results, but I'm going B-.
I don't know how you can be so negative. They're second in the Premier League. I'm going C+ because I think this is a work in progress. This is emerging. He rested Caicedo at the weekend. What was overlooked was Santos's performance. He was fantastic. Andre Santos was absolutely brilliant against Burnley. So, yeah, solid C+.
Yeah, for me, again, C+ I think is a little bit harsh. I don't think he's revolutionizing the world away with his tactics.
No.
For me, I'm between a B and a B-. Let's call it a B. With what he's had to work with, especially without arguably his best player, I think that's the case. He's shown a couple of tactical wrinkles here and there with fullbacks playing inside, Enzo further up the pitch, getting the most out of Moises Caicedo. Obviously, like you say, Lahoud, he can't be a hero for every single game for 90 minutes for the entire season. But I think he's been a little bit more flexible than managers usually are.
OK, so you give him a B for his tactics. What do you give him for his man management?
A-. This is an incredibly big squad, unusually big squad. And if there's anything that you can attribute to Maresca is that going all the way back to last season even, remember the memes? Remember the memes of the packed gym, of him trying to sort out his squad? Despite all of these large numbers that Maresca has had to deal with, I think he's kind of figured out and sorted out his squad.
And despite having injuries as well.
Yeah, listen, I mean, this is incredible, but he does get the most out of certain players. Like, look at Estevao. Managing, how old is Estevao? 18, 17 years old? Managing a very young squad is not easy, and he's gotten a lot out of these young players. It's the youngest team in the league, yeah?
Yeah.
It's the youngest team in the Champions League. I think there's a lot of merit in there.
Yeah, you look at Cole Palmer, 14 games missed. So for them to be second in the league and doing okay in the Champions League, for all these players that have gone for so many games, I think he's managed them pretty well.
I've never heard of a toe groin problem before either.
Toe groin.
What would you grade him on his man management, Geoff?
I think he's B+, because to Nico's point, the age of the team. He sometimes, I think he comes across a bit, this might step over into the vibes, he sometimes across as quite harsh. He speaks very harshly. Do you remember last season he said about Reece James, I expect more from him as a captain. I want more. And he said that publicly, which, you know, this season as well, when Sterling and the other players, quite common, they don't train with the first team, etc. And they tweeted about it. He said, no, your life isn't hard. My dad's a fisherman. He gets up at 2 a.m. That's a hard life.
Yeah.
So he's got it in his locker to tell you what he thinks. He shoots from the lip.
Yeah. Lahoud?
Yeah, I'm trending actually towards A, because I think there's an element of trust with some of the younger players. Can't believe I'm saying younger with the youngest team. But I think of a player like Andre Santos, who I don't know if Enzo Maresca of last season would have put him in a game like we saw at the weekend. And so there's a level of trust that he's having with Andre Santos to say, I see you as the heir apparent to Moises Caicedo. I can even see you maybe playing in the midfield with Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez as Cole Palmer gets in. And we see the level of trust that's building with Estevao. It's hard not to trust him. He's a freaking talent. But also the trust with wingers like Jamie Gittins.
Yep.
The trust is earned. And so his man management, there's a bit more rotation with Chelsea that I see. And the Gittinses, the Andre Santoses, they need them if they're going to get anywhere near, say, competing for that second place or competing, should I say, outsiders for the title.
It's funny what Nico said, you know, the squad is massive. So on the one hand, you could say, well, he should be doing well. They've spent fortunes and they've got a massive squad. But that's also a problem, isn't it? When you've got that many players.
Sorting the squad, keeping everybody happy.
Yeah.
Understanding your role.
Which is impossible.
How would you say vibes would be then, Geoff, if you were to grade it? We're seeing a lot of green, so surely the vibes have got to be good.
Yeah, look, you can't argue they're second in the table. But it's you know, we're 12 games in. So I'm not going amazing, wow, amazing, but definitely going in the right direction. So I'm going B+.
OK. Nico?
You got everything to play for. You're competing. They are competing, I think.
Yeah.
The six-point gap in the Prem is not that much at this point.
And they play Arsenal next.
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
And for me, A-. You're good in the Champions League. You're good in the Premier League. Everything to play for. The vibes around the team have got to be good.
Yeah, I'm going with you, Nico. A-. I love the fact that they even have Marc Guiu coming off the bench and impacting games. And it takes a lot of the pressure off of João Pedro, who didn't think he looked as good at the weekend. But this Chelsea side, they do have depth in young players, and I think that depth is going to show as they get players back. Imagine a rested, healthy Cole Palmer when he gets back for the second half of the season. You're getting your best player, while most teams are going to be feeling the slog of the season, feeling the festive period, the slog of that. And Cole Palmer, we'll see when he comes back. If he comes back during that time, it's going to be a nightmare for other teams. I
think we're going to be seeing the final grades all being put together. But like I said, we're seeing a lot of green here. So what I'm gathering is that in his second season, it's been a pretty good season for Enzo Maresca. B+, B+, B-. I mean,
that's where you want to be if you're Chelsea.
Yeah.
You're right there. And like you say, Geoff, it's a work in progress. This is a very young team that probably has a lot to learn, that has a lot of quality, and they don't have their best player yet. Signs point to Chelsea improving.
Yeah, and like you said, they're competing on all fronts in the Premier League and in the Champions League.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.